Greetings, sports fans. I'm Ray, and this is TinyTableGames. Today, I have a special treat for myself and for all you viewers, Blitz Bowl by Games Workshop. Originally, a game based on Blood Bowl, which was designed by Jervis Johnson for Games Workshop back in the 90s. Considered by myself to be one of the best games Games Workshop has ever made to this day. It is a blast. It will always be a blast. And Blitz Bowl is like the younger cousin of Blood Bowl. Think of it like the Farm League or the college trial program. What is Blood Bowl, if you don't know? Well, it's football, but fantasy. Think elves, ogres, dwarves in the Warhammer fantasy universe. But for some reason, they all got together when someone discovered the rules to Nuffle, that's N-U-F-F-L-E. As they discovered the Nuffle rules, they kind of made some Warhammer fantasy interpretations on those, which led to the game of Blood Bowl that we have today. And like I said, Blitz Bowl is kind of the Farm League version. It's played on a smaller map with fewer players. It's originally kind of designed as a Barnes & Noble bookshelf game to make sure that people could kind of get introduced to it. There's fewer rules than in full Blood Bowl, and it's not really a league game like Blood Bowl is. But still a blast, still lots of miniatures to paint. I have 4 teams. It comes with the humans and the orcs. I have 2 other teams. It'll remain a surprise for now, but we're going to do a 4-team tournament, if you will. It should be a blast. I will certainly have a lot of fun. I hope my enthusiasm carries over to you. And let's get to it. Now, of course, Blitz Bowl is played, like I said, on the smaller board. It's a grid, end zone, and end zone on the checkered section. It is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 squares across, and 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 squares wide. That matters because each turn you play on the grid. So the green portal there, trapdoors where the ball pops out, Blood Bowl logo, 4 statues. This is an indoor game. You can kind of tell because of the dungeon board walls around the side. Over here you have the dugouts for each team, along with a little reference sheet for what each side of the dice mean. Each team, incidentally, comes with their own little unpainted Blood Bowl token, which you can use as your coin for flipping for halves and everything. This is the human team, and the Blood Bowl token for the orc team is, of course, the standard orky skull symbol. That said, let's meet the teams. First, we have a thrower, who comes with his own stat card. Move of 6 squares, can throw 3+, and armor of 4+. Next, the Blitzer. Hailing from Altdorf, this Blitzer can move 6, has a 4+ throw and 4+ armor, and is an offensive specialist. When he ever makes a block, he can choose to re-roll the block dice. And we have the Catcher. Move 6, throw 4, armor 5. If he catches the ball, roll a d6. If he succeeds, he can make a run action up to that many spaces. And 3 linemen. Not particularly any specialists, but you got to have some guys on the line and move a 6 and 4/4 for throw and armor. No special abilities. And there you have your human team. Now let's go to the orcs. There's the orc thrower. One thing in Blitz Bowl is they don't have all the players named yet because, hey, they're not important enough to have their Blood Bowl names yet, but you can certainly name them yourself. He has different stats than the human thrower, a 5/3/3, although he has the same special ability. Over here we've got the orc blitzer, nasty piece of work. 5/4/3, same skill as the human blitzer. Instead of a catcher, though, the orcs have the black orc blocker, who is a bit of a monster. 5+ throw, 2+ armor, and a move of 4, and he's a hulking brute. And over here, 3 linemen, who have slightly different stats than the human linemen. Their armor roll is a bit better, and their move is a bit slower. So there you go. There's the orc team. Each team has their own scoring icon in the form of their team trophy, effectively, which goes up here on the scoring track. Of course, like any good sports game, the goal is to gain more points than your opponent. The game ends when one team is 10 points ahead of the other team. You score 1 point by getting into the ball into the end zone under your control. So the first 3 challenge cards of the game will be combo play. Play this card immediately. The player who caught the ball can make a free run action. They can do this even if they've already made a run action this turn, and this does not prevent them from making a run action later in the turn if they haven't already made one. Multi-ball. Play this card immediately. 2 new balls come into play, one after another, following the rules for no ball in play and multiple balls. And healing spell. Play this card during your turn to make a free reserves action with each of your players that is in the dugout. As you can see, there's a lot of humor involved in this game, and I'll go over some of the... there's always an intro back to the earliest days of Blood Bowl, using the vampire version of Jervis Johnson and his associate, that being what Jervis was supposed to look like as a vampire. And they always have their little intro thing. Hello, sports fans, and an even bigger welcome to all our new viewers out there. I'm Jim Johnson, commentator extraordinaire, master of statistics, blood-sucking vampire. Yes, thank you, Bob. And that's Bob Biffer, joining me as always to give the sort of violent color commentary you'd expect from one of Blood Bowl's most beloved ogres. Thanks, Jim. You gotta mention the vampire thing early on, or people start asking awkward questions when I turn up to a daytime event without you. Anyway, we're delighted to be with you today, bringing you a first for the Cablevision Network, or Cabalvision Network, coverage of this year's preseason crush. Two teams of young hopefuls are getting ready to head out into the arena below and show us what they've got. Forget about us, Jim. It's the coaches they should be worrying about. You're not wrong, Bob. The Averland Knights and the Iron Crag Decimators have each put forward 6 of their best applicants for today's tryouts, and they'll really be putting them through their paces to see if they're worthy of joining the team's roster. Of course, the crush has come a long way since your day. Oh, you're telling me, Jim. Back then, it was just about who got through the door first, and in one piece. These days, it's a lot more civilized. On the surface, it's not that different to a regular game of Blood Bowl. Each team is trying to score touchdowns by carrying the ball into the other team's end zone. But that's only part of it. The spectators have agreed on a set of challenges, which the coaches will shout out during the game. It could be anything from breaking some bones to throwing a perfect pass. The first aspirant to fulfill the challenge scores bonus points for their team, meaning the game's about to be more than just trying to score. After all, the coaches really want to put these youngsters to the test, and with the high standards we're expecting to see in the coming season, there's no room for layabouts and one-trick ponies. You know, Jim, some of these kids might be star players in a couple of seasons. I can't wait to see what they do. You're right, Bob. So with that, let's get on with the action. One cool thing that Blitz Bowl does is rather than just have to read through the rule book, which there is one, there's also a series of tackling, blocking, and running drills you can perform with the game to get an idea of how the game works, using the miniatures and putting it on the board, which is what we're going to do. So while you're standing in line for your last alt-door fail before kickoff, the teams are going to run through some drills. Drill 1. Set up the orc thrower, 2 orc linemen, and the human blitzer on the game board as shown below. Give the orc thrower the ball by slotting it into the hole on his base. Well, I painted all the bases, but there's the orc thrower with the ball on his base. To run through each drill, you'll need the player cards for the human and the orc teams. This drill demonstrates a run action and shows how players can be used to control the areas of the game board. The human blitzer is going to make a run action. On his player card, you will see he has a move value of 6. That let him moves up to 6 squares, and moving diagonally is allowed. When making a run action, a player cannot move into a square that's occupied by another player or one of the 4 statues on the board. See? Let's see. And cannot move into any squares that are adjacent to a player from the other team. Following these restrictions, move the blitzer so he is 3 squares away from the thrower. Notice he can't move between the 2 linemen because either path will take him adjacent into their tackle zones, if you will, and that is not allowed for a run action. So instead, he's going to have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is not great and doesn't quite get him to 3 away. So if he's starting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that'll just about get him there. Let's see. As you can see, these movement restrictions are very useful when it comes to slowing down the other team, allowing you to use your players to keep your opponent where you want them. Drill 2, set up the game board as shown below. It should roughly be how the board was left after drill 1. And behold, it is in fact how the board was left after drill 1. This skill demonstrates the mark action. While the run action, as seen in drill 1, lets players move long distances, it doesn't let them move next to opponents. That's where the mark action comes in. This lets a player move up to 2 squares, ending their move in a square that is adjacent to a player from the opposing team. The human blitzer is going to make a mark action, move him 2 squares so that he is adjacent to the orc thrower. Note that he could instead choose to mark the closest orc lineman, but the thrower is carrying the ball and needs to be stopped. When a player is standing in a square that is adjacent to an opponent, they are both marked. Marked players cannot make a run action, so marking a player is a great way to slow them down. So he can only move up to 2 squares, huh? Then I have this guy in the wrong spot because he can't get there. There. So moving 2 squares diagonally Drill 3 picks up right where we left off, with the human blitzer closing in on the orc thrower. This drill introduces the block action. The human blitzer and the orc thrower are now marked. A marked player can only make a sidestep or block actions. Oh, there you go. A sidestep is a 1 square move to get away from the enemy, but the blitzer is going to make a block action, which is how you push back or knock down opposing players. A player can target any opponent who is standing next to them, so the blitzer targets the thrower. Then, the blocking player's coach rolls a block dice. In this case, we'll assume that the dice shows push, which is the shove results. Which in the actual thing kind of looks like that. This pushes the target 1 square directly away from the blocker. Do this now, moving the thrower 1 square away from the blitzer. The blitzer has the option to move into the square that the thrower left, which he does. So you roll, and let's say he got the push. So because he's pushing from this direction, or trying to block from this position, it pushes the thrower back next to the statue, and the blitzer follows up. That works exactly the same way as it does in Blood Bowl, by the way. Set up the game looking like that. Yep, nothing's changed. I like how it just carries right along. This drill goes into more detail on the block. In a game of Blitz Bowl, coaches take it in turns to make 3 actions with their players. So far we've learned about the run, marking, sidestep, and block. As the human team has made 3 actions, it's now time for the orc team to have a go. The thrower has a couple of options, but he's going to make a block action. The block die would be rolled again, but for purposes of this drill, let's assume the result is a knockdown. Lay the blitzer down on his square. He is now prone, so the thrower is no longer marked. Also, the human coach needs to make an armor check by rolling a d6 and comparing it to the blitzer's armor value of 4+. Let's see. If the result is lower than the value, the blitzer is injured and removed from the board. Otherwise, he stays prone and will have to use a stand-up action next turn. For the purpose of this following drill, we will assume the blitzer is injured. So, he rolls the block die and actually gets the knockdown. Notice there's other results. That, by the way, is the person doing the block is knocked down instead. So, knockdown. So he's knocked down in his square and makes his armor check and fails it, so he is immediately removed to the dugout with his injury. Drill 5. There's only orcs left on the board. This is a throw action. Now that the orc thrower is no longer marked, he can make a throw action to pass the ball to a teammate. However, he is not in a great position to do so. One lineman is quite far away, and the other is obscured by a statue. As you can see there, it's not a direct line of sight because the statue, which is assumed to be tall, kind of blocks the path. Let's see. First, make a run action with the thrower, moving him up to 5 squares, as you learned in Drill 1. He's already made a block action, so this will be action number 2 for him. For this purpose of the drill, he should not end his move adjacent to either of his teammates. All right. Notice the thrower has a move of 5. So 1, 2, 3. So he's no longer adjacent to either of his teammates. We'll just put him right in between them. Now make the throw action. Place the throw ruler so that the curved end is in line with the edge of the player's base. As long as it reaches a square, the ball can be thrown to it. Hopefully both linemen will be targets. There's the range ruler. Pick a target, which will be this guy. Drill 6. Leave the board set up as it was at the end of drill 5. Yep, okay. This drill continues explaining throw. After picking a target, make a throw check by rolling a d6 and comparing the result to the thrower's throw value, which in the case is 3+. So, yeah, he rolled a 2. That's funny. The 6 is the Blood Bowl symbol. It's pretty funny. All right. If the result is equal to or higher than the value, the pass is accurate and the target player catches the ball. That's interesting. In full-up Blood Bowl, you have to make a roll for passing and a roll for catching. But in Blitz Bowl, they simplify it to a single roll on behalf of the thrower, so anybody can catch it. Otherwise, the pass is inaccurate. The ball moves to the target square and then bounces away. Whenever the ball bounces, you need to roll a d8 and look up the number on the bounce chart, which can be found on the side of the game board, which is that. So that's a d8 scatter die, basically. If the throw is inaccurate, roll the d8 now, and it was inaccurate. Then look at the chart and move the ball from the target square into the square indicated. So we were trying to throw it to here. It didn't work out. It scattered in the 6 direction, which is straight towards this sideline. So from here, it scatters 1 and bounces and lands right there. That was kind of sad and pathetic. All right. Setup the game is shown. It should be roughly how it was left in drill 6 with the addition of a human lineman, catcher, and blitzer. Give the orc lineman closest to the human team end zone the ball. So we need to add a lineman, a catcher, and a blitzer. So here's the setup. The 3 orcs. The orc lineman holding the ball on the base there. And you've got the lineman, the catcher, and the blitzer lined up in the end zone. Okay, let's see what we're doing with it. This is the last drill, by the way. This drill explains how to score a touchdown. The orc lineman who is closest to the human's end zone had the ball and is in position to score. Before he can, the human team gets to take their turn as the orc team has now made 3 actions, which is true. The human coach uses the turn to bring on 3 players from the reserves box of the dugout. Okay, so all 3 to bring those guys out. It's now the orcs team's turn once more to score a touchdown. To score a touchdown, the player holding the ball must be standing in the other team's end zone at the end of their action, and they must not be marked. Oh, that's interesting. You can't be marked, huh? So you can't be adjacent to somebody else. That's different. Again, marking doesn't really exist in full-up Blood Bowl, but I can see why they used it for a simplifier here. So make a run action with the lineman to score a touchdown. As soon as you do, the orc team scores 3 points, which will be recorded with a score marker on the score track. All right, so in this case, he can move 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that puts him in the end zone over here. And the team goes up 3 points. And what was the team name? The Iron Crag Decimators versus the Averlin Knights, which is why it's Altdorf Ale and Averlin Sunsets for sale in the stands at the moment. All right, with that said, the drills are over. Everybody's got their 3rd beer in hand, and it's time to start the game. All right, as you can see, the Iron Crag Decimators are set up in their end zone. That's right, Bob. And the Averlin Knights are prepared in theirs. And, of course, our 2 referees are ready to start making the calls. One from Karak Ungor, who's got the entire rulebook on his back, and one from the Elfenlands, who's always ready with a red card. Maybe not the healthiest option. That's true, but that's why it's Blitz Bowl. Let's get started. All right, the Averlin Knights get to make the toss. Heads and tails. Whoever calls it correctly gets the choice of moving first, and the Averlin Knights call heads. It is tails. The Iron Crag Decimators will be starting us off. All right, to start things off, the Craghammer Decimator coach is going to take combo play and put it into their hand. You can play the card immediately. The player who caught the ball can make a free run action. They can do this even if they've already made a run action this turn. That's too valuable not to use, Bob. That's right, Jim. And Bounding Leap is the replacement. Play this card when one of your players makes a run. For the S action only, they can move 2 extra squares and can ignore opponents as they move, moving adjacent to them and even through them. That's pretty powerful. Indeed it is, Jim. Indeed it is. Well, Jim, in this case, the orcs really need to get a handle on that ball. Yes, they do. There's not much they can accomplish without that. So for the next 2 actions, I wonder what the coach is going to do. Well, it looks like he's going to move up the blockers and try to screen that ball off. And that's probably not a bad choice. The black orc blocker has a movement of 4, which is not fantastic, but at least it gets him closer to where the ball is. It looks like he's going to follow up by moving the thrower. Neither of them can quite get there, but it's certainly going to put pressure on the humans. To start things off for the Averlin Knights, their coach looks like they're going for a Bounding Leap as their first action. That's probably not a bad choice, but maybe the healing spell would have been better. Well, we shall see. And the replacement card is Reserves. Play this card at the start of your turn to make a free Reserves action. So, with 2 actions left, what do you think he's going to do? Well, much like the orcs, I think the humans probably need to get the ball. That's a good call, Bob. Let's see how it plays out. The human thrower looks like he's advancing with a 6. That puts him next to the ball, but still not quite there. Painful. And finally, it looks like the blitzer is going to back him up. Also moving 6. Looks like things are about to get messy on the field. It's back to the Craig Hammer Decimators. What are they going to do next? Well, Jim, I think they're just going to go for the ball still. Yes, thank you for that brilliant analysis, Bob. No problem, Jim. And in fact, the orc thrower could move up, but what's he got to do to grab that ball? All right, as Jim and Bob might tell you, whenever you move up onto a ball that's just laying out on the field, if it is a move action, you can pick it up, which means that it's not adjacent to opponents. If the ball is adjacent to an opponent, if you move up to it and try to pick it up, it automatically bounces and scatters. If it was in the open field and you ran up on it, you'd automatically pick it up, which is, again, a variation on Blood Bowl, but this is kind of a simplifier, which doesn't stink. So it's kind of a gamble to do that. So we're not going to use one of their actions to do it. Instead, we are going to bring up the blitzer, who has a movement of 5. The black orc, everybody has a movement of 5 on the orc team except for the black orc blocker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can use all 3 of your actions on the same player, by the way. You just can't use the same action more than once. So you can't run, or etc. It has to be different actions. So he moved to here. Now he's going to do a mark action, which means he can finish adjacent, which he's going to do right there. And the third action, he's going to block. And in this case, he's going to try and knock down that thrower. And this is an interesting twist. If you're blocking into somebody, you use 1 dice. If you're assisted and you're doing the block action, for let's say, for example, the blitzer was blocking the orc blitzer here, he'd be assisted because they're both marking him, aka adjacent to him. So in that case, the humans would be rolling 2 block dice. There is no defensive assist in Blitz Bowl. There is in Blood Bowl. But in Blitz Bowl, they simplified that because in big scrums, it can get kind of county in Blood Bowl for figuring out who's assisting who and who's canceling out who's assist. So in Blitz Bowl, they simplified it in addition to the other simplification, which is if you're on offense and you have an assist, you get a 2nd block dice. If you're on offense, it doesn't matter how many defensive people are marked, aka adjacent to you. It's still just 1 dice. You never roll less. In Blood Bowl, it can be up to you roll 3 dice and your opponent picks it if they have a sufficient number of people offsetting your block. None of that exists in Blitz Bowl. So it's a straight, he's blocking into the human thrower, and he gets a push, which is just fine. He'll push him to here, and he will follow up. Which, as you can see, is kind of a good play in the sense that at least it'd be better if he was off the field, but at least this gets him away from the ball. That used all 3 of the orc's actions, so that's going to be about it for them. That prevents the blitzer from picking it up because the orc blitzer is still covering the ball and marking both of these guys. So that complicates life for the humans. Bob, it looks to me like the knights have set themselves up for a null oil slide play. It looks like they're going to have somebody possibly cut up the middle, take out that blitzer, and then that'll leave them open to picking up the ball and going for the score. That's right, Jim. The orcs may have fallen right into the Averlin Knights' trap. So, the lineman's got a move of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has to stop there. Now he'll do a marked move. Or will he? No, I don't think he will. He's going to stop there. The blitzer is now going to do a block action on the orc. He is assisted by the thrower, so he gets 2 block dice. And they both are the result with the exclamation point, which on the handy reference chart means crunch. That's descriptive, isn't it? Crunch. The target is knocked down. When the armor check is made, subtract 1 from the result. So the blitzer tags the orc blitzer hard. So he has to make an armor check of 3+. And when he rolls it, he's got to subtract 1 from the roll. Ouch. It is well under. The blitzer is off the field. Well, Bob, it looks like you're right. That null oil play slided right into place. Crunch. You could almost make a whole other Games Workshop game based off of that word. That's 2 actions for the Everland Knights. Now it's time for that third step. That's right. And now it looks like the thrower's got a free hand to grab that ball. 1, 2, automatic pickup because it's in the open field. 3, 4. And there you have it, Bob. The Null Oil slide play executed perfectly by the Everland Knights. Let's see what kind of response the Orcs will have after this. Blitz Bowl. It's brought to you by Cabal Vision. Cabal Vision, today sponsored by Bugman's Brew. Don't forget Bugman's Brew. There's nothing better in the old world. And now, back to the game. And we're back. The Orcs have been pondering their move, and here they go. They've got 3 actions to try to make something happen with this. Might be a good time to use that combo play. It would be, except they haven't caught the ball. 2 left to go. They got to get some adjacency to make this work. Looks like the black orc. 1, 2, 3. Oops, can't do that. That's a marking action. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he will move here. And I think... And the... Yeah, I should probably do that backwards. We'll make a marking action for the black orc to blocker right there in front of the human blitzer, and we will go 1, 2, 3, 4 to trap this side of the humans with the orc thrower, and that concludes their 3 moves. All right, Bob, the Everland Knights have to make their move. What are they going to do? I'm going to guess score points. Yeah, thanks. Well, they can each move 6, so the thrower is going to step out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, I guess. Because he can't end adjacent to this guy, and I don't want him to get stuck down this path, because that guy can just seal him off altogether. So that's 1 action. For the second action... The refreshed card, by the way, was Raw Talent. What's Raw Talent do? Play this card to reroll any roll die that uses a d6 or a block die. A free reroll. Wow, that's pretty cool. However, I got the ball. I want to score some points. So, action number 2 is going to be 1, 2. He is going to do a mark action. 1, 2. So he can assist the blitzer in rolling against the black orc blocker. So 2 dice because he's assisted. Uh-oh. That's a double failure. That is bad news. The target is unaffected. In addition, the blocking player cannot take any more actions this turn. In Blood Bowl, that would knock the blocker, the person taking the blocking action down. In this game, it doesn't do that, but it does mean he can't do anything else. And that was the 3rd action. So, there you have it. Wow, Jim, look at that. That blitzer really screwed it up. Yes, he did, Bob. I can see the coach is not happy about that already. Let's see what response the Orcs have. All right, the Orc player is going to play his bonus play reserves card, which allows him to move somebody out from the dugout for free into any end zone space, which he will do. So, move number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That completely traps the thrower from doing much of anything except doing a marked move and then sidestepping, so he could still try for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's 3. Got them pretty well boxed in. Let's see how that moves on for the human team, who are now going to try to do something to help. They got to plow the field, as it were. So the lineman is going to block the Black Orc Blitzer with the assist from the other Blitzer for the first action. And thankfully, he actually gets a knockdown with the exclamation point being the crunch. So the armor check, the Black Orc blocker has a 2+ on his armor. So roll the die and subtract 1, 5. So he is fine. He is down, prone, and therefore he loses his tackle zones to mark people with. So that's one action he blocked. The second action, the thrower is going to throw back to the blitzer. It is a short-range throw. Okay, there are 3 modifiers that can happen with a throw. One is if it's a long throw. That's a -1 to your roll. 2, if the range ruler passes over an opponent, that's another -1, or a statue, because that's considered obstructed either way by the opponent or a statue. And 3, if the receiver is marked, aka is adjacent to an orc, which he currently is, but he's down, so he can't be marked. So he has no modifiers to the roll in this case. Otherwise, it would have been 1-2 modifiers against him. So the thrower has a throw skill of 3+, so 3 or better, and the throw succeeds, of course. So it scatters from the location of the receiver, and that is an 8, which means it bounces straight into the downed guy, which he cannot catch the ball, so it bounces again from his location. This is just how Blood Bowl goes. And now it comes to a stop right there between the downed orc and that orc. That's 2 actions. The first was the block, the second was the now failed throw. In Blood Bowl, that would end your turn. Happily, in this game, it does not, because it is, after all, trials, and they're still just trying to assess the quality of the team, and I think they just made an assessment about the Averlin Knights thrower. So for the third action, the thrower has the ability to pick up the ball like he was doing a move action. So we're going to make the thrower do a mark action, because he hasn't done that. He's only done a throw action. So 1, 2, which is the only way, because he's a thrower, he can still scoop up the ball. Otherwise, it would automatically bounce if it was anybody else. That obviously imperils him at the moment, but it's the best we can do to keep the orcs' dirty paws off the ball. Wow, Jim. That was really a spectacular failure on the part of the Averlin Knights. Yes, it certainly was, Bob, and now let's see if the orcs can get some payback going. All right, the orcs have a chance to capitalize on the human's mistake. Get up, stand up for your rights. That's the first play. Second, the black orc blocker is going to pound the human. All block actions made by this player count as having an assist. In addition, subtract 1 from any armor checks caused by his blocks. So whether he had an assist or not, he's got 1 now. Boom! 1 fail and 1 succeeds just fine. Knocks down the thrower. The thrower has to make an armor check at a -1. His armor is normally 4, now it's at a 3. So 3 plus, at a -1, so 5+ actually. 5 or 6 and he's okay. 1 to 4, he's not okay. He is not okay. That's what usually happens when a human gets hit by a black orc blocker. The ball scatters from the space where he got clobbered in the direction of 6, which boinks right to there. Well, Bob, what'd you think of that? Well, Jim, that's what I like to see. More blood in my Blitz Bowl. That's right, Bob. We'll see if it goes well from here. So for the second action, anybody can pick it up for free with a run action. So we are going to have the orc blitzer pick it up with a run. 1, automatic scoop. 2, 3, 4, 5. Back over to the humans who have a problem. So, a run, 1, 2, a run. 1, 2, 3, 4. If he goes there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He still can't quite get there, but maybe he can. So just to choke off that edge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, in fact, we'll put him right there. Okay, those are the 3 actions of the humans. Defensive line, defense. And it's back to the orcs. All right. He's doing a mark move to close adjacent to the lineman. Now he's going to do a block. Looks like the orcs are making their move, Jim. It's a single die, no assists. He gets the push. So pushes him directly back 1. He follows up. He's already made a mark move, so he can't do that again. So we're going to do a mark action with the thrower right to here. And those are the orcs' 3 actions this turn. Now it's back to the humans who need to do something quick. Let's see. So he's going to do, the lineman's going to do a mark action to here. So it lets him do that. The lineman here is going to do a block action now with the assist. And he gets it's a skull and explosion. Usually that's both knockdown. Tackle. The target is knocked down. In addition, the blocking player cannot make any more actions this turn. Well, that's fine. So he knocks him down. So he has to make a roll. The Orc Blitzer is a 3+. There's no modifiers. He's fine, so he stays there. The ball scatters from his location. Direction 5, which is right here. Well, that worked out nicely. Okay. 1, we'll do a run action with the runner, or with the catcher. He picks up the ball for free because this guy is no longer marking the spot. It's not in a tackle zone, in other words, to use Blood Bowl parlance rather than Blitz Bowl parlance. And we're going to use Bounding Leap. Play this card when one of your players makes a run action. They can move 2 extra squares, which means he has a total of 8 squares. He moved 1 to pick up the ball. And they can ignore opponents moving adjacent and even through them. So that gets used. He's got 7 more squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, orc turn. Got to bring up this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy. 1, 2. That's 2 actions. And the black orc is going to make a mark action. 1, 2. They can't quite get to him because they only have the 3 actions, but that certainly does make him sweat a little bit more. Back to the humans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is a long throw. Oh, no, it is not. It is a short throw. And look at that. He threads the needle between the 2. So it is a short range throw, and it goes right in between those 2 guys. Here we go. 4+ to catch. Nope. Oh, God. Got a frame. So it scatters from the receiver's square. At least it gets downfield. So that's the second action. It bounces in the direction 4. Of course, it's backwards. He's already made a run action, so he can't do that again. That's 2 actions down. So now it's up to the blitzer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with a run action to run over here and pick up the ball. And that's 3. The orcs are under pressure. The humans have almost gotten a score. Back to the orcs. Let's see. Mark action. 1, 2. Mark action. 1, 2. Block action with 2 dice because of the assist. He gets the knockdown he wanted. That ends the orc actions this turn, but that's okay, because at least it knocked the ball out of their hand. It scatters in direction 2, which is right to this guy. So he is marked by this guy, so it's another bounce. Let's see where to go. Oh, there it is. And it bounces to the 6, which is back onto him. Bounces again to here. Okay, back to the humans. Oh boy. All right. Step 1, stand up. Step 2, block with advantage now. Armor check. On the, that is a orc lineman, 3+, so he is okay. He stays on the field. And 3, he is going to sidestep, which is stepping out of that guy's zone. Okay, so for the third action, he can sidestep. Because that'll leave him no longer marked, and it counts as a run for that. So he could sidestep to here and pick up the ball, and that would be the third move. And now it's back to the orcs, who is going to stand up. Big surprise. He's going to make a mark action, so he can move adjacent into there. And for 3, we're going to have this guy block. With the assist, so does, whoops, again, 2 dice. A push or a fail. So I believe we'll take the push, and we'll push him straight back because we don't have a choice. We'll follow right up. And that's 3 actions. That's not what we were hoping for there, and it's back to the humans. Because he is marked, he can only block or sidestep. Don't really care for that. All right. He is going to sidestep. 1. And now run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the end zone. For action number 3, he's going to throw it right from there. It will be obstructed by 1 orc. He ran so far, it's actually a long-range throw, so that might have been stupid, but I was trying to cut down on having 2 obstructions. So my bad on that. The receiver got excited. The lineman can throw with a 4+. Great, with a 2 obstruction. So he needs a 6 to make this throw happen. And he gets it. And he gets it. Bob, would you look at that? With an amazing, surprising throw from the Averland Knights lineman to another Averland Knights lineman. It's a touchdown, just like that. That's right. I know that coach is going to be real happy with that lineman. He might even decide to give him numbers. Yes, they may. Well, it's early in the game. Let's see what happens. But right now, the Averland Knights go up by 3 points. Okay, here's an interesting thing from Blitz Bowl versus Blood Bowl. If a player scores a touchdown, the ball is removed from play, and that player's team scores 3 points. Check. In addition, the scoring player is hauled out of the area, no doubt to be congratulated, and is placed in their team's dugout. The team can complete their turn as normal. Well, that was, yeah. If we have another action, but I don't think we do. 1, 2, 3. No, that was all 3. The team can, this is a great chance to reposition and make a block or 2. Huh. So they don't reset like they're doing a kickoff. They just keep right on scrumming along. So the guy who scores the touchdown goes to the dugout. So I got 2 guys in the dugout now. And the ball disappears. At the start of the turn, which is now the orc turn, no ball in play. If there's no ball in play on the board at the start of a turn, a new one enters play. First, the trap door opens. If anybody's standing on it, they have to make an injury roll. Oh, they're automatically injured. The ball is placed in the trapdoor square, immediately bounces in direction 3. There we go. All right, so orc player, first thing, stand up. That's action 1. Action 2 is the thrower is going to go 1, 2, 3, pick it up. 4, 5. And he is going to throw it to the, what is he? The blitzer. It'll be a short throw. It is not obstructed because that guy is not in a square, but he is marked, so that'll be a -1. Let's see, so the Orc thrower has a 3+, so this will be a 4+ because of the receiver under pressure. Scatters from the receiver's location. Direction 5, dribbles out right there. So that was 1 action, that was 2 actions, that was 3 actions. All right, back to the humans. First thing we're going to do is put a reserve action to get the thrower out, and we're going to put him, how close can I put him to a ball? That's a good question to ask. Let's see, they cannot be set adjacent to an opponent unless there's no other option, and cannot be set up in the square with the ball. Oh, so he can be set up next to the ball. And now we'll do a second reserve action and set this guy up. I probably should have set him up right there. No, because that wouldn't matter, because he can still do that other action. And set this guy up right here. All right, so that's 2 of the 3 actions, but well worth it. Let's see. Let's see, if I do a marked action, I can move adjacent to him, but then I can't, you have to end your mark action adjacent to them. So you can't dip in and out of the zone. Still, we're going to take a mark action, which lets the thrower count it as a run action for picking up the ball. And there's 3. Back to the orcs. Let's see, everybody's standing up, everybody's on the field. 1, 2, so you can do the mark action to get to there. And now the thrower is going to block this guy with the assist, because I can't get to him. So that's 2 dice against the lineman. And it's a push or a knockdown. I can't do anything else. So he will take the knockdown and make the armor check. The armor on a human lineman is 4+. He is injured, so he's back out into the dugout. That's helpful. So that's 2 actions. Action number 3 is this guy is going to block the thrower with a single die. He gets the push. This guy's blocking the path, so that'll just push him back into the end zone, and he will follow right along. That's the 3 actions. First thing they're going to do is pick up the multi-ball. Play this card immediately. 2 new balls come into play, one after another, following the rules for no ball in play and multiple balls. So in other words, they're both going to bounce out of the center. What is the rule on multiple balls? In some specials, only 1 ball can occupy a square. Each player can only carry 1 ball. Other than that, it's pretty well normal. For this, I'm going to use these sad little unpainted ones. This is what they look like normally for the humans. Just they come as just a yellow plastic. Let's see. Let's scatter the first one. That was the first human action, by the way. So ball 1 scatters to here. Ball 2 scatters to here. All right. So that's action number 1, for that to happen. Action number 2, we're going to have this guy stand up, which I know seems like a waste, but I don't like leaving him sitting. And action number 3, is going to be a side step from this guy to cover that ball. That's the 3. Back to the orcs, who now have some interesting opportunities. First, this guy's going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, scoop up this ball, 5. I believe he's going to throw it to the thrower. Or should he just go for that second ball? Ah, man, that's a tough call. All right. Chaos on the field. It's going to bounce if that guy tries to pick it up. It's going to take all their actions to knock that guy down. All right, so next, this guy is going to take the mark action to move to here to assist the blitzer in crunching this guy. So 2 dice. He gets the straight knockdown. The armor check. Let's see on the thrower, armor check 4+. He gets a 6, so he is fine. The ball does scatter in direction 3. Let's see, what do you do if it scatters off the field? Does it just go out of play? If the ball bounces into a block square or off the board, move clockwise around the bounce chart until the bounce square is reached. Okay, clockwise, so it was going to bounce 3, which would be here, there, can't do it, there, can't do it. Here, he's marked, so it bounces again from this guy's space. 8 ends up here. Human, human, human. Run play. 1, pick up this ball. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He unfortunately has no move he can use to get into the end zone from there, because a mark move, you have to move into a tackle zone adjacent to an opponent, and a sidestep, you have to step away from one. So that's actually fairly good on their part, and I don't have any extra movement cards, so that's it. But he's in scoring position for sure. Second, the thrower's going to stand up. That's 2 moves. So with a mark move, he steps there and automatically picks up the ball again. And he can take 1 more step, so he will. He's still adjacent to this guy, so that's still valid. But at least it gets it 1 step further out. And that's 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So back to the orcs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Score. The orcs get 3 points. This ball goes away because it's an extra ball. He gets returned to the dugout. Let's see, that's 1 action. Second action. Run. Oh, shoot, he can't. He can do a mark, though. 1, 2. And action 3 is he's going to do a straight up block and try to prevent that score. And he doesn't. He, in fact, fails. He doesn't fall down because you don't do that in Blitz Bowl. But he's just done. That's 3 actions, so that was almost cool, but not quite. Now it's back to the humans. Action number 1, he is going to sidestep right into the end zone and score 3 more points. That extra ball goes away. What a bunch of chaos that is, isn't it? Pretty awesome, though. He goes back to the dugout. Let's see. Action number 2, sidestep. Action number 3, run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's it for the humans. Back to the orcs. Action number 1, move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Action number 2, move. 1, 2, 3. Action number 3, block the catcher. It's the black orc, so he always has advantage on his attack. Knocks him right down. The crunchy catcher has a armor value of 5+, so he's got to roll a 6 to not get crunched by the black orc. He does not. He's back to the dugout. And that's it for the orcs. Back to the humans, who kind of need to... Boy, there's nobody left to help this guy. All right. Action 1, action 2, and action 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to be it for the humans. Back to the orcs. Mark action to move adjacent. Move action, 1, 2, 3, and block action. So that'll be the third one. He gets the bonus. It's again the black orc, so he always gets the bonus. He gets the knockdown, but can't do anything else. Oh, crunched. So it's a armor check with a -1. Ouch. The thrower has an armor check of 4. It's -1 because it's the black orc, minus another 1 for the ball, so he has to get a 6 to not be in the dugout. And he does not. Dugout it is. The ball scatters from right here. Direction 5, that would have bounced it out. Direction 4, it lands here. Oh, except you go clockwise. So if it would have landed there, it goes boink, 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 and he is in the clear, so he actually picks it up. Well, that's handy. That's it for the orcs. Back to the humans, who need to get people out of the dugout again. 1, 2, and 3 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back to the orcs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Help shield him on his way to the end zone. Back to the humans. Let's see. Mark action. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, mark action, because he's starting there and he's going to end there. 1. And I think I want to leave it there. Or do I? No, 2. Clog that up. Second action. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third action will be a mark action for the blitzer. 1, 2. Yes, I know that's putting him in trouble, but at least that's squeezing the ball carrier a little bit. Okay, back to the orcs. This guy's going to block the blitzer with advantage. And he gets a push. In the case of a push, if you can't, if that move would make the target into an occupied or blocked square or off the board, he's knocked down instead. All right, so it pushes him right into the statue and knocks him down. The blitzer has a 4+ armor check, which he makes, so he stays on the board. He is now free to do whatever. I think we'll have the black orc punch this guy. 1-on-1, he automatically gets 2 dice. That's a double push, so we'll do that. And now the guy carrying the ball for his action can run 2. And that's it for the orcs. Back to the humans. This guy's going to stand up, because that's going to help prevent anything from happening going the other way. The thrower's going to take a mark action. 1, 2. This guy is going to block into the black orc with the assist, so it's still 2 dice. You wouldn't think it would be, but it is. 1 push, which is a block, which it's an occupied square, so it just knocks him down. Armor check. Let's see, the black orc has a 2+, so he is fine. And let's see, so that's 1, 2, and for action 3, the thrower's going to block this guy. It'll be straight up, no modifiers. And he gets the skull knock, which means tackle. The target is knocked down. The blocking player can't do anything else. Okay, so he is knocked down. His armor check is a 3+. He fails it. He goes to the dugout. Okay, the ball scatters from here in direction 6, which it can't, so it goes clockwise to 7, which it can't, so it ends up going here. Wow. Back to the orcs. 1. 2. No, that won't work. He's going to make a block action against the blitzer. Straight up roll. Push, which knocks him down again because it's blocked. Armor check. He is fine. So that's 1, 2 will be a move. 1, 2 to pick up the ball. And 3 to throw it. Right across this guy, so it'll be obstructed by both. Oh, is that wise then? No, he's just going to hang on. Well, yeah, he's going to hang on to it. Well, he's going to stand up and block him though. That's my third action, so neither of those guys can do anything about it. Although combo play. Play this card, the player who caught the ball can make a free run. Aha. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make the obscured toss. Right to the thrower, because why not, I guess? No, actually to this guy, because that still makes it short, and we need one less thing. So it is obstructed because it's passing over him. Can you be obstructed multiple times? For each of the following, subtract 1. Yeah, it's just obstructed, so it's a -1 to the throw. And the target is occupied by a marked player, so it's a -2 to the throw. And I'm going to guess the lineman, 4, 5, 6. So he's got to get a 6 to make this pass work. He does not, so it scatters from the lineman. And that's Blitz Bowl for you, and Blood Bowl. It scatters in direction 6, which puts it right there next to the humans, which was not awesome. That was the third play, though. So he almost got to use his combo, but not quite. Back to the humans. The thrower is going to use a marked action to step down to pick up the ball. That's 1 space, and then he will step to here for a 2nd space. That's 2. Now he's going to make a throw action. It's a long throw. He gets it on a 3+, but it's a 4+ now because of the distance. He makes the toss. So that is 2 actions for the humans. Action number 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which, yes, I know that puts him in danger of those guys, but they can't come out right next to him. So that's 3 actions. The orcs, action 1, he's going to pop out here. They just can't pop out adjacent to the player. And he will pop out here. That's 2 of the actions. And he will make a marked move to here, which is not going to help in the slightest because he can just step around him. So that was dumb. Don't do that. So we're going to have to leave one guy in the dugout. He comes out. Then he makes that's 1. Marked move to here. And that's 2. And for 3, he's got to do a one-on-one block. And pushes the guy, which isn't going to prevent him from scoring next round. Turn. Back to the humans. He stands up. He will make a marked move right into the end zone. So he returns to the dugout. The ball is out of play. He gets 3 more points. It's now 9-3. The ball will pop out at the start of the next turn. So that's 1. Action 2 is he comes back out. And action 3 is going to be the thrower sidestepping away from that guy. And now it's back to the orc turn. So the ball pops out and scatters in direction 8. Bounces to there. Orc turn 1. It's going to be this guy coming back out. 1. Action 2 is going to be, man, he's really pinned. Guess he'll have to make a marked move. 1, 2. This guy will make a marked move also. Well, yeah, he can't do that. So yeah, I guess he'll make a marked move there. 1, 2. Try to pin these guys in a bit. And that's all 3. Back to the humans. He is going to, he can't side slip because he's pinned in, which is not great. He can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's great. He's going to side slip to step away from this guy and then run. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick up the ball. 5, 6. I think, and take a step back as he does it. And over to the orcs. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Marked move, tackle. Gets the crunch. So he is knocked down, the ball scatters, and it's a -1 on his armor check. Oh yeah, he fails. Back to the dugout. It bounces from there, right next to that guy. Block with assist to get rid of this guy. That's fine. That's the knockdown. Armor check, 2+. Yeah, so he's okay, but at least he's knocked down. This guy can now go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy is still open field. He'll make a marked move then. 1, 2, which is going to scatter the ball in direction 1. At least it keeps it in his area. Okay, back to the orcs. Marked move, 1, 2. Block into him with the advantage. Gets the crunch. So knockdown and the 5+ to make it work on his armor. He gets it, so he stays there, but his tackle zone's still gone. So that's 2. And 1, 2 for moving. 3, 4, 5. Humans who just need one more touchdown to win this game. First, 1, 2, 3. Actually, probably just do a marked move. 2. He needs to stand up. That's 2 moves. Wish he couldn't do that on his own. But he will block this guy with the assist with 2 dice. And he gets double crunch. So, armor check on that guy. So 4+. Keeps him in the game, and it does. There's no scatter because he didn't have the ball. It's back to the orcs. Orc thing to do number 1 is stand up, at least to use one of the actions. Orc thing number 2 is to hit this guy with the assist. He gets the push. He will follow up. That's 2. And 3 is this guy's going to throw to the thrower, which will be a long-range throw, -1, and it's obstructed, -2, so he needs a 6. And he gets it. So the thrower catches the ball, will instantly play the... Oh, crap, he can't make a run action because he's covered, but at least he caught the ball. Because a 6 always succeeds in Blitz Bowl and Blood Bowl, and a 1 always fails. So that was their 3 actions, but that was pretty spectacular. Back to the humans. 1. 2 is a marked move. 3 is blitzing into the guy. With an assist, and when he does it, he gets to choose to reroll his block dice if he wants to. And he doesn't need to in this case. He'll take the straight knockdown. From out of the backfield. Armor check. Oh yeah, he's out. So the ball scatters from right there into direction 6, which goes straight to the thrower, who is open, so he will just pick it right up and say thank you very much. That is 3 moves. That was well worth the effort. Back to the orcs. 1. 2, he's going to block this guy because it's the black orc and he has advantage anyway. So he will knock him down, and it's a -1 against his armor check, which is as alignment of 4. So he needs a 5 or 6. Doesn't get it. So that's 1, and then 2, marked move. He moves to there to put the pressure on. And 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to come up here and tie up that that catcher, because I see where this is heading as an orc, over to the humans. The catcher is going to sidestep away from everybody. The thrower is now going to throw. It is a short range throw. There are no minuses. The thrower has a 3+. He gets it. Makes the throw to the catcher. The catcher's special ability, if you've forgotten, is if this player catches a thrown ball, roll a d6, the player can make a free run up to that many spaces. So the catcher will run, ooh, a free 5 spaces. You can't go around, he's got to go all the way around these guys, but still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that was 1, 2, and here's 3. He runs into the end zone. That's 3 more points. And victory for the humans. So there you have it. That's game 1 of Blitz Bowl. I hope you liked it. I know it's a little bit silly. I love the silliness. I love the randomness. Blitz Bowl and Blood Bowl, thank you, Jervis Johnson. It will always be one of my favorite games. I haven't actually played Blitz Bowl before, but I've played a ton of Blood Bowl since the game first came out back in the 90s with the little styrofoam Astro Granite set they called it. It wasn't even a board back then. It was just like carved styrofoam, and you kind of had to paint it gray yourself to keep it looking nice. But nonetheless, there you go. I hope you really liked it. I hope you liked the teams. I got 2 more teams coming up to place for like a 4-round tournament, winner take all sort of a situation. In my more enthusiastic days, I had the thought of promoting the people who succeeded in that, the MVPs of that, and rolling them into a Blood Bowl tournament, because I haven't played the 2nd edition of Blood Bowl. I still have to paint all the miniatures and put that together. It's on my list of games to get to on this channel. But for now, we're going to stick with that. So we'll see you next time for the next game of Blitz Bowl. Thank you for watching. I'm Ray. This is TinyTableGames, and if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Help my channel grow. I would really thank you. Have a good day.